That was Good Day LA speaking with the LA County Health Director out there about some changes that the state of California has made. We're going to stay with LA County actually, but bring you some breaking news from today, just hours after Los Angeles County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl voted to ban outdoor dining at LA County's 31,000 restaurants over COVID-19 safety concerns. She visited a restaurant in Santa Monica where she dined outdoors. Fox 11's Bill Melugin joins us live from Los Angeles with the very latest. Bill, what's the story? You've been following a lot of these updates from officials in the state of California, just kind of dropping the ball, quite frankly.
Yeah, good evening. And we were tipped off about this by several people in the restaurant industry who are really angry to hear about this. They feel it's yet another case of that glaring hypocrisy that we're seeing from our government officials. As you mentioned, this one has to do with LA County Supervisor Sheila Kuehl, one of the most powerful politicians in the county. Rewind the clock last Tuesday, she voted to ban outdoor dining here in LA County for all 31,000 of our restaurants. And at the time, her reason for voting that way is she said outdoor dining was just too dangerous. She said people take their masks off. She said people don't social distance, and she said it is, quote, a most dangerous situation for the server. So what we confirmed is that just hours after she made those statements last Tuesday and hours after she made that vote, she came right behind us to where we're standing right now and dined outdoors at Il Forno here in Santa Monica. It's an Italian restaurant that's one of her favorites, not too far away from her house, which completely violated and went against every single thing that she said during the board meeting when she described outdoor dining as too dangerous. She was outdoor dining 3 hours after she said that and after she voted to ban it for everybody else in the county. So we reached out to her staff about this. They confirmed she was here, but they wanted to stop by because she feels bad for the restaurant because they've been losing so much money throughout the pandemic, and she wanted to, dine with them one more time before the ban went into effect. But that's completely beside the point because just hours beforehand she had said it's too dangerous for everybody else to dine outdoors, and they had to ban it throughout the entire county. But evidently she didn't think it was dangerous enough for her to not get one last dinner in. So there's been a lot of blowback to this here in LA. This went viral once we put it out. Restaurant owners are furious. They say it's more hypocrisy, more politicians who aren't listening to their own messaging. And once again, this comes just weeks after the Gavin Newsom story. We keep seeing these stories here in California of our politicians repeatedly flouting their own rules, and they're losing a lot of credibility in the eyes of the public.
Yeah, and Bill, I don't know if you've seen the story quite yet, but San Francisco Mayor Breed also ended up attending French Laundry as well, just a day after Governor Gavin Newsom. What are you hearing on that end? Because, yeah, you broke that story and obtained those photos of Governor Newsom at French Laundry, which angered a lot of Californians.
Yeah, I did see that story from the San Francisco Chronicle. They're breaking this one on Mayor London Breed, which it's just a jaw dropper because I think they said it was the day after Gavin Newsom was there, and then 3 days after she visited the French Laundry, she then banned indoor dining, if I read their article correctly. So it's just more hypocrisy. I saw another story about, I believe it was the mayor of San Jose went and gathered with a bunch of households and families for Thanksgiving when he told people not to do it. It's just more of the same here in California. It started with Nancy Pelosi in the hair salon. Then we had the legislators flying out to Hawaii the same week they were issuing the travel advisory. Then we had Governor Newsom. We have Sheila Kuehl here in LA. It's just happening all over the state, and it's just really driving people crazy because the messaging is falling apart, and so is the credibility.
So what are you hearing from restaurant owners out there? Are they saying this is ridiculous? I mean, we should be able to be open if people like officials are not even following their own rules? What are they saying?
That's exactly what they're saying is, look, the very people who instituted this ban, the people who voted for this ban, don't even believe in their own rules. So why are we shut down right now? Sheila Kuehl was one of the primary spearheads of getting this ban done because there were other supervisors who were against the ban, and they did a motion to try to overturn it. It was Sheila Kuehl who said, no, we have to have this ban because it's too dangerous and we're in the middle of a COVID surge. Then we come to find out hours after she said that, she dined outdoors and went against everything she stood for. So, yeah, there's a lot of frustration with the business owners out here. They think the order should be overturned and they should be allowed to be open because if the person who is pushing this ban isn't following it, Why should they? Why should their families not be able to feed themselves? Why should their employees not have any money before the holidays and not be able to support themselves, their families, their livelihoods? And at the same time, the county did this ban without offering a shred of data or a shred of science to associate outside dining with the surge in our cases. So widespread frustration out here in LA.
Just one more question for you, Bill. You briefly spoke about other supervisors speaking out. Is there any of those supervisors specifically who are saying, yeah, we shouldn't have done this and we shouldn't have put this ban forward?
Well, there's 5 LA County supervisors. 3 of them voted for the ban. 2 of them voted against it. The 2 who were against it were very outspoken, said we should not be doing this. This is going to crush business. This doesn't make any sense. There's no data. There's no science behind it. Sheila Kuehl and 2 others said, nope, we got to do it. And they went through with the ban. Now, since we put the story out about Sheila Kuehl, one of the supervisors who was opposed to the ban, she did react to our story and said, this is a problem because as public officials, we need the public's trust. We have to gain their trust. And if we don't hold ourselves up to that standard, they're not going to listen to us. And she said she's starting to feel like they're losing the battle of that public trust 8 months into this pandemic. She feels the public trust starting to slip away with all these restrictions and with the hypocrisy that they're starting to see. And she thinks that the public is starting to turn on them a little bit, and it's certainly happening.
Yeah, apart from that statement from Supervisor Kuehl, have you heard anything publicly from her? Or is that pretty much it? That's all she said.
We reached out to her repeatedly for an interview today, and we were told she was not available, that she was booked up in meetings all day long, but that turned out to be a blatant lie from her staff, because she did go and do an interview at another TV outlet here in Los Angeles where she is kind of playing the victim card. She says she's getting death threats, and that she had a quote saying that it's difficult to lose your job, but it's even more difficult to not be able to breathe. And then she went on to say that the reason why she came here was she wanted to stop by in person at her favorite restaurant and deliver the news that she was shutting them down, which I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time believing with that line of thinking there.
Yeah, sure. Any light at the end of the tunnel for Californians out there, whether they're business owners or just trying to get through this pandemic?
Right now, it doesn't look like it. It looks like we're heading back towards more restrictions, more lockdowns. We're essentially going back to square one where we were 8 months ago in March. So it's looking pretty bleak out here at the moment. Our cases are surging. Public health officials all over the state are moving their counties back into the most restrictive tier, closing everything down. So right now, it doesn't look like there's much light at the end of the tunnel, unfortunately. We got to get these case numbers down before anything like that happens.
Yeah, and nothing from the governor's office today either, from what I could see.
No.
Yeah. All right, Fox 11's Bill Melugin out there. We appreciate your reporting. You are just on the watch out there in California.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, you're watching News Now from Fox. I'm Daytona Everett. That was Bill Melugin helping us out with coverage in California as several of these officials